We're interviewing Reuben Culley. He's an artist from Wetumpka, a self-taught artist. How did you get started, Reuben, and how old were you?
I believe I was around 5 years old. I actually done a picture, drew one. It was supposed to be like with an eagle and a little Indian man at the bottom with the little forest scenery in the background. And I actually dated it and signed my name to it. At 5, I didn't think I could write, but apparently I did. But I come from a long line of artists. A few in my family, a couple of immediate uncles, they were very talented, not established, but I had a few cousins and uncles that were actually established and did quite well for themselves. I met a guy named Joe Chamberlain once, and I was probably around 30 or so, 31. I told him, I said, I do a lot of drawings, and he asked me, he said, bring some of your stuff up. So I did, and he's the one that actually got me started into selling my art. I started doing pencil drawings, pen and ink, because I didn't know how to paint then. But I still didn't know the type of artist I was going to be at this time. I looked a lot to the skies for a lot of, I guess you would say, motivation. I guess you would say, I like that word. I know it's really motivation, but motivation, I call it. I see that and I get a lot of images from the clouds I see and a lot of things that can come of it, but I never knew what I was getting into whenever I went that far. Now it's starting to come out into my art. So now I tried painting on feathers.
And that is your specialty, correct?
Yes, it is. I believe it is. I don't really like to say that because I think there's more I can do. I actually paint on the turkey feathers. I'll take them, I'll trim them down, and if you can see, I paint directly on top of the feather. I don't spray anything on it. It's still loose. I mean, you can fray it and it's still there, but you can pop it back into place. And sometimes, if without realizing, if you're not looking at it real close, I usually have about 6 or 7 coats of paint on this. And it's not just a turkey feather. I've painted on all types of feathers, peacock feathers, even small little bird feathers. It was just something I was meant to do, I believe. Culturally, I keep everything open-minded, like I say, and I do more with. I do a lot of eagles, and there's one of bear I did, and I even got into doing portraits, and I have done a few other portraits. I've done one of Sitting Bull, I've done one of Geronimo, I've done one of Osceola. I take my art a little bit further sometimes. Now I'm getting into canvas. Started out doing silhouettes on these, and then I switched over to adding more clouds and more density and texture and stuff like that. So I'm learning as I go. I'm just glad that I have this ability to do what I can do because I enjoy it. Whenever I have something come up that bothers me, sometimes I'll be up all night, sometimes not even sleeping, but I can come into the room and just look at something and start drawing and stress is gone. Sometimes it's just there for me when I need it. I go to different shows. I sell to individuals. Sometimes I'll get an order. Sometimes I'll go to like small festivals, and I like to get out to show the people what I can do. I just think that everybody deserves to see the type of art that's out there, and it's not just a certain type. People, when they say Native American art, they expect one type, and I don't believe there is one type. I think everybody can do any type of art, and I believe that's what a Native American artist does. I mean, there's no end to what we can do.